Okay, well, it looks like I'm not going to Caffrey's anymore. And where is this? Is this Lacey?
I think it's Forked River.
Forked River. Okay, Caffrey's Steakhouse in Forked River. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, I come here, as you know, a lot, right? You probably see many videos where I come here and I'm a great customer. I order 3, 4, 5 steaks, prime rib steaks. Okay. Whenever I film someone, like the waitresses or a staff of any restaurant, I always ask permission because I have a YouTube channel. I explain to them before I film them. I say, would you like to be on my YouTube channel? They say yes, they give me consent. And then I film them. I do this all the time. I never film people without consent. Or if I do film someone, let's just say, because it's like a spur of a moment, after I shut the video off, on the hand of God, you could even ask my wife, right, Jennifer? I tell them, I say, listen, I have a YouTube channel. Like, I'll give you an example. We were at a place, what was it called? The River Rock. And I just randomly went up to people and we started singing Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. Okay, hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came. So after the video was completed, I said, listen, I have a YouTube channel. Would you mind if I uploaded this video of us singing together on my YouTube channel? They said, absolutely. Okay, so this, I think her name was Chris, the owner of Caffrey's. This is a woman, okay, a very, very disgusting human being, a very mean woman, a very horrible woman, okay, who has absolutely no respect. Absolutely no respect, especially for someone like me who comes in all the time and gives what? I buy I spent like $300, $400 on dinner. You know what I mean? Like, how could you treat somebody who's such a good customer with such disrespect? Okay. Soon as I came in, she caught an attitude with me. She said, you ask my staff first before you film them. So here's what happened. I shut off my phone. I explained to her, I was being very respectful. I said, I do ask your staff. I got their consent. She's ignoring me. As I'm speaking to her, I'm like, ma'am, I'm speaking to you. I'm just trying to explain. She walked away from me. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, wow. I sit down with my wife. They sat us next to a table with about 15 Karens. Okay, all these girls, they're all screaming at the top of their lungs. They're laughing, screaming, laughing. Okay, so what I do, because I'm the Apefather, you understand, is I start talking loud. You know, I'm like, hey, Jennifer, remember that day when we went out and we had a steak and it was delayed? Okay, all of a sudden, they all looked at me. They looked at me like I'm out of line, right? They're like, why is this guy talking so loud? And I'm thinking to myself, listen. So in other words, this is the country we live in, okay? I just want you to understand this very, very carefully, okay? They have the right. There's like a table of these 10 Karens. Jennifer, tell them, were they not screaming?
Yes, they were very loud.
They were screaming, laughing. Now, listen, I got no problem with that. Listen, you're having a good time. God bless. God bless. But then let me have a good time, right? But see, here's the thing. They told me I was talking too loud. Oh. Okay, now, a parent, you know, a father and a child passes by because they have this, like, little arcade section. They say there's a child passing by. What does that mean? I'm like, what? I'm not doing anything inappropriate. I'm just talking to my wife. So in other words, now they did what's called a double whammy. So now, okay, not only am I talking too loud for them, they're now assuming I'm talking too loud for a child who's trying to play a video game. Okay, so one of the Karens decides to get up now off the table and go to the owner, the meanest woman alive. This is like, she makes Leona Helmsley look like an angel. This is like, you know, they call Leona Helmsley Mrs. Mean. The owner of Caffrey's Steakhouse is by far the meanest, cruelest, heartless, soulless, emotionless woman on earth. Like, this is like a woman, you know, I don't want to tell you something, the most miserable person on earth. The most, and she shouldn't be miserable because she has a very, very successful restaurant and she has very, very loyal customers. But apparently she doesn't give a shit about her customers, and that's just my opinion. And I have the right to my opinion as an American. It's called the First Amendment right, freedom of speech. So when one of these Karens approaches the owner didn't even hear me out. I'm just trying to explain, like it all started where she was mad that I apparently, she assumed I did not ask her staff for permission to film them, which I did. And when I was trying to explain to her that I did get their permission, she ignored me. So right off the bat, the owner is pissed off at me. Now one of these Karens who are screaming at the top of their lungs, go to the owner, she basically throws me out, the owner. She tells me, get out. For what? What did I do? They're screaming and you know what I kept telling the owner? I said, why don't you ask, because our waitress, she was a beautiful elderly woman. She was a very nice lady, and she was apologizing to me and my wife. Our waitress, our server, our waitress, she said, listen, if you would like me to move you, I can see if I can get you another table. Because she heard that these women were screaming at the top of their lungs, screaming. So I was telling the owner, the meanest woman, the most cruelest woman, in my opinion, honestly, the most miserable person I've ever seen in my life. I said, do me a favor. I said, go speak to our server. Ask our server if we did anything wrong, and the owner did not want one word. She didn't want. She kept shh. She's like shutting me up and only listening to the Karen. End result is she actually throws me out. She goes, get out of here. Now I'm just trying to understand, what right does she have to throw me out? What did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. To be thrown out of a restaurant that I'm a loyal customer? What did I do wrong? Okay, so I am going to make it my business now to not only make videos about this, right? I'm going to make sure that I use every power I have on social media to make sure how bad Caffrey is. Because honestly, I even think the news should hear about this. Why did she throw me out for? What? I didn't do anything. There was nothing done for me to be thrown out of here. I didn't do anything. Nothing of violent or anything that was inappropriate or anything in any way, shape, or form that warrant her to throw me out. She just didn't like me. That's it. It's like a prejudice thing. It was like she was prejudiced that she did not like me. She goes, we're tired of your YouTube channel. I'm like, wait a minute. What does that mean? That was her exact word. She goes, we're tired of your YouTube channel. Does that make any sense? I asked her staff if they wanted to, and you want to know what? All of her staff said that they love me. We watch you all the time. We love you. We think you're great. We think you're funny. So what gives her the right to throw me out of here, right? Okay, well, she's not going to hear the last of me. She's definitely not going to hear the last of me.